All right, I woke up this morning and I felt like making a YouTube video because I see this a lot. With the Flowtech forward-facing headers for the small block Ford, I see these things all the time come up on Marketplace, brand new for sale, because I think people hit some hurdles and they don't push through it. So I'm going to show you exactly what it takes. Now, comparing these to a long tube header that are getting up around $2,000, and then you have to buy an exhaust beyond that or have one totally fabricated, I think this is a better way to go because you're getting 1/7/8 inch primary with a 3-inch collector, and these things are under $400 at the time of this video. I'm sure those are going to go up. Basically, when you get these things out of the box, they're about 4 inches longer than what you see there. So this is simple. We cut off about 4 inches, right where all those primaries come into the merge, and then it smooths out. We cut them back, well, TIG welded on V-bands, and then we took a 3-inch U-bend. I want to say that this is like a 4 or 5-inch bend radius. Took the U-bend, cut it right at the center of the arc so you have two equal pieces. And then there's roughly 15 inches, I think, between what you see there where it straightens out to the fender. So that's what I was able to fit. And this right here was a Flowmaster one-chamber muffler. And there was a good selection. I think there was 4, 5, 6 mufflers that would have fit in here. There's straight throughs, which actually that's the next one I'm going to go through. And that's the nice thing about this. You can make all sorts of different exhausts for the street and the track, and you can interchange them real quick. You're not getting the car up in the air and having to, have $1 million in exhaust. And this is just a great way to change the volume of the car because there's nothing there. After you make that turn, another good step here is actually this 90-degree oil filter adapter. This is a Ford Motorsport billet oil filter adapter that fits an FL820-S oil filter. That filter actually did fit on there without that 90, but it was kind of close to the header, so I just spent a little bit more and got the filter away from it. I don't know, that's good 3 inches there probably of clearance. The next big step, and this probably took me $500-$600 to do, was an LS swap radiator from Summit. And what this does is it puts the upper and the lower all on the passenger side, so everything clears over here. With the 90 there, you can see, that's way far away from the other side of the exhaust here. And like I said, this is the expensive part. Had to buy 4 fittings, bought that dash 16 hose, and now I don't have anything over here. And in my case, I'm going to put a turbo here, so all of the hose connections go to this side. I did have to run this lower hose under the radiator. I'd originally had that arced up and over, which created an airlock every time I'd fill it, so I just moved it, cut it a little bit, and put it on the bottom. The manual brake master cylinder is great because getting that spark plug, it's a lot easier. I'm sure everybody knows that already, but with these going forward, it actually made it a little bit worse. No big deal. Steer shaft clears it, no problem. Solid motor mounts clears them, no problem. The really nice thing that I did with this, I put my transmission cooler under the car in the back. It's one of the big Durali, I think it's like 16,000 BTU. It's got a fan on it. The thing's a monster. With that in the back and the forward exhaust, I can actually pull the motor and the transmission independently, where if you have undercar headers, you have to undo the headers to pull the transmission. This has actually got a TH400 in it. That made it even worse, but now with this, I can just leave the motor in and pull the trans, or the other way, I can pull the motor out without touching the transmission. Everything goes its own separate way. And I do actually pull this motor out with the headers on. So this is a great step to take. I hate seeing these things go up for sale because people don't take these other little steps. And then they go probably to a super expensive undercar header and then have the price of the exhaust behind it. I'll get just some sound clips of this car up because it does sound really good, and it's not horrible with that muffler, but I think this is a great way to go.